Hello everyone, today I'm going to briefly demonstrate the process of deploying two CME phones over the virtual environment. I'm using VirtualBox and I have 3 VMs here, a Linux Mint I think as a server and 2 Windows VM as clients. Okay, so before doing anything we should first put all these VMs into the same network. I'm choosing NAT network to get these VMs talk to each other. They are all on the 192.168.5.0 network with DHCP enabled. For the Linux Mint, it's kind of different from the other two. I have modified the /etc/network interface file earlier so that we have two interfaces, BR0 and BR0:0. Along with the machine default interface ENP0S3. They are used to talk to each other and to other VMs, and as well as the routers that we're going to create later. And besides that, the two other VM windows is on the same network. They receive IP from the NAT network, the HTTP server. This one is 6.6 and the other one is 0.7. As you can see here, the VMs are able to ping each other. Pinging 0.6 and 0.7, and the Windows can ping pretty much anywhere. So after finishing with that, we'll now begin to create a TFTPD server. First thing to do is to install it using this command right here, and now we will configure the TFTPD file under /sh/cnet.d. Something like this, a basic TFTPD server configuration. Then we'll create this /tftp boot directory and save a file server there. I call the file Brandon TFTP and we're gonna use it later. And now we'll install Dynagen and Dynamips. They will be used to create our routers. Use this command right here to install them. We'll also create a file called brandondynagen.conf and have this configuration for the two routers. They will be connected to port 2531 and the other one is connected to port 2532. And to activate these routers, we will start Dynamips and then Dynagen. So start Dynamips /8.2000 and then we'll start Dynagen using our TFTP file. First we should go to the directory that we have the file under and to dynagen.5.conf and then we say start R1 and then start R2. And after those two services have been started, we'll telnet into R1 and R2 using the port that we set it up earlier. And telnet localhost 2531 and telnet to 5. Okay, and just wait for it to boot up. And while waiting for the routers to boot up, we should bring up the two interfaces that we created earlier, tab 1 for router 1 and tab 2 for router 2. And just do brctl add interface BR0 tab 1 and then tab 2 sudo ifconfig to bring the tab 1 and tab 2 interface up. And looks like they are up. And the router is finished booting as well. So let's do some configuration on both routers to activate the server. And in the beginning, just set up the IPs for them first. we'll come to the server configuration part later on this video. And since the interface are all up, then we can ping R1 and R2 and just set it up as .4. This part is .5. And /24. Oh, /24. And then no shut it. And now the interface are all up. We can then ping them. Just checking, make sure. And have it over there, awesome. And it's ping 192.168.5.4 first, and it's working. Now we'll try to ping 192.168.5.5, and it's working as well. And I ran into some problem with the IP conflict, so I've changed my router IP to .64 and .65. And now we're good to go. So the next step is to extract the disk file, and this allows us to have a TFTP server on both routers. It's just going to take around 30 or 1 hour. After the extraction, we should end up with something like this. And just type there to check it, and there should be 137 files on both routers. Next step is to install the CME phones on the Windows VMs. Make sure that we set up the TFTP server for the phone. Phone 1 is .64 and phone 2 is .65. So now we have assigned the TFTP server to the phones. We have to configure some stuff like IP source, system message, and clock set on the server end too. And after that, just wait for it to register. Shouldn't take too long if the configuration is all accurate. And after the phone is successfully registered, we will see a message like that on the router. Like that, and router 2. And we can use both command lines and GUI to add and manage the phone. I'll do it on the GUI. And I think it's better to add the extension first before adding the phones, so that when we add the phone in later, the extension will automatically assign to it. And do the same thing on both server. And just adding it, and extension already show up there. And we got it. Same thing. Alright, just add it in, and the phone will then reset and register again on the server. Looks good. And now we have two phones ready to go. Let's try to make a call between these two devices. 7964, and it doesn't work because we have not yet set up the dial peer. So we have to do a bit more configuration on the routers. Basically the same configuration on the routers. The only difference are the destination pattern and the session target. We will specify the other router information. Set it up, and same thing on the second router. Okay, and now I'll try to redial. Make a phone call 7964 and call it, and it works just fine. And we can also use command lines to configure the phone as well, and just type in like ephone1 or whatever the number is according to the number of the phone we register on our TFTP server. And here we can specify the information like MAC address of the phone, or which button it should be on, or restart it, etc. And let's put this number on button 2 actually, and just specify button 2.1 in the router. Now we can use button 2 to make call, and try again. That's wrong number. And 7964, and well, it works. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.